Squirrels! So hello, and welcome to another Legends of Runeterra video. My name is Chris, and today we are talking about Ziggs. Let's see what Ziggs does. Last reveal! Ziggs is a 3-mana 3/4. Ooh, the old Riven stat line. That's a good start. In Bandle City, Shurima. Interesting. Attack, deal 1 to my blocker and the enemy nexus. And the level up is you've destroyed 4 allied landmarks this game. So it is obviously the Zerath synergy. But on the effect, I'm a bit sort of confused. The deal 1 to my blocker and the enemy nexus doesn't necessarily seem... It's not that it's bad, but I don't get where the synergy is with this just yet. But I suppose we shall see. Attack. So it is an attack, but you're a 3/4, and it's kind of like a misfortune-esque effect, but you know, you're kind of trading. It's kind of like a worse misfortune, right? Ooh. Ooh.
I got an idea. What does that thing do? It explodes, of course. Go ahead, light the fuse.
Mega Inferno bomb. That sounds interesting. Okay, that was pretty cool. So, Ziggs becomes a 4/5, of course, and attack, deal 2 to my blocker and the enemy nexus, and when an ally landmark is destroyed, deal 2 to the enemy nexus. Oh, this is going to be so interesting because, of course, the dual region as well, you don't necessarily have to be in Bandle City, so you could go for something else instead. Oh man, that's interesting. And like, obviously with the kind of like, what are they called? The rock upper landmarks that obviously get vulnerable to something. That's just a straight 2 to the enemy nexus. Player unit, deal 2 to the enemy nexus. Which feels pretty good. I mean, I love anything that deals damage to the enemy nexus. So Ziggs, as I expected, is right down my street. But I'm surprised that it's Shurima. But let's keep going.
Let's not have a repeat of
6 mana 6/6. That's normally pretty good.
That guy's eyebrows grew back. Let's get him, squad.
Poppy is insane.
And it goes boom.
new venue, new money.
Big boom coming right up.
Oh.
Boom, boom. Tumbleweed.
Well, there it was. There is Ziggs, so we will go on over to Mobalytics to talk about the rest of these cards, but this is straight down my street already, I can tell. So it looks like we have 20 cards to talk about today. We will start with Yodel Contraption. No, this is the card. These are not cards. So, 5 mana slow speed, Yodel Contraption, destroy a landmark or create 2 random multi-region followers in hand. Ooh. So this, I guess, is of course the landmark removal, because every region has landmark removal. I mean, I think you'd more so put this in, you know, something for multi-region followers, but it's nice that it just doubles up as like landmark removal if you really need it. Obviously, it's not the best landmark removal in the game. But you know, it could work pretty well for banditry decks. You know, and if you need to just randomly destroy a landmark, then hey, you know, it's a nice little added bonus to the card. But obviously it's not like a crazy good card in any case, really, I think. Mega Inferno Bomb is a 7-mana slow speed spell. Deal 1 to all enemies, then do it again. Now, I think that this is because, like, if you put this with kegs, say this just, like, you know, because you might be confused, why does this not just say, like, deal 2 to all enemies? Obviously, if you put this, if this was just deal 2 to all enemies and you had 1 keg, then it would only deal 3 to all enemies, right? But by wording it like this, when you have it with kegs or other things, then it deals 2 and then 2 again, which is obviously 4 instead of 3. So I think that that's the reasoning behind this. The fact that it's 7 mana and slow speed means that I don't think you'll play this unless there is some insane synergies that are coming up. Okay, so cards 5 and 6 don't really want to be revealed just yet, but we'll move on. I'm guessing that this is to do with one of those. So we'll quickly move on and just sort of wait for them. So, Safety Inspector is a 6-mana 6/6, as I said, just good stat lines straight away. Round start, create an inspection past in hand. Oh, so this is an inspection past, which is a 0-mana slow speed spell that has fleeting. Destroy an allied landmark to deal 3 to anything. So that can go face as well. Oh, and that's a round start effect. Ooh. So obviously you need to be in like a very landmark heavy deck. So it only really goes in that deck, but you know, dealing 3 to anything fits pretty well. This is quite interesting. Is this like too quick for Xerath? Like, it seems like they're at slightly different speeds. Like, this seems more like a more aggressive landmark deck, whereas Xerath, I think, is a bit slower, you know, a bit more chill. But this seems like, you know, let's kill them by turn, you know, 6, 7. Let's kill them by that turn. Whereas Xerath, it feels more like, let's wait, you know, and let's slowly kill them. So this is quite interesting. Bomber Twins is a 2-mana 3/2. When I'm summoned, create a random landmark that costs 2 or less in hand. Any 2-mana 3/2 that gives you a card is pretty good. So, and this is dual region as well. Oh, this is a good piece for the banditry decks, because I think we were missing this little combination. So we like that for banditry as well. And it's a decent card on its own. And it's just a completely random landmark, it seems. Not from your regions, just completely random. So it could be like a Frozen Thrall, it could be an Ancient Preparations, it could be, there's probably some more that I can't think about. But yeah, really interesting. Decent card, like any 2-mana card that gives you a card, although it's better in Piltover Zone because you can rummage them away. But it's not necessarily bad, and it'll definitely go in this deck, I would have thought. Scrappy Bomb is not a main deckable card, but this is Inventive Chemist. When I'm summoned, summon a Scrappy Bomb. Countdown 3, or when I'm destroyed. And I guess you can get this off Bomber Twins then? I think you can. Countdown 3, or when I'm destroyed, deal 1 to the enemy nexus. So this is a really nice little, this is a nice little 1-drop. For this kind of deck, because, you know, it gives you it's a 1-drop that's a 1-mana 2/1, so that's good. It gives you a something to destroy, which is really, really good. This is the kind of thing that those kind of decks, both Ziggs and Xerath, desperately want something like this. This is really good for all, really. Maybe outside of Malphite, but, you know, it's good for Talia as well, just to, like, get a landmark. Of course, you don't want to copy this with Talia, but, like, you know, it's good for leveling her up. Card 12 doesn't want to be revealed, and neither do any of these. But we can see Ziggs' champion spell, which is Ziggs' Bouncing Bomb, which is deal 1 to 2 enemies. Create a Ziggs in your deck. Deal 2 to an enemy or 1 to 2 enemies. Wait, what? Oh, these aren't main deckable cards, so I'm guessing whatever hiding behind here is stopping me from seeing that. And there's Ziggs. So we have resorted to Twitter instead, so let's quickly look at these. So this was Bouncing Bomb, which is a 3-mana slow speed spell, and it is Ziggs' champion spell as well, which is deal 2 to an enemy or deal 1 to 2 enemies. And what we saw was the kind of options that you will get, where you can deal 2 to 1 enemy or deal 1 to 2 enemies. It's not the worst thing to like have as a champion spell. You know, it's like, it'll be useful in situations, and it's good to have as a champion spell because either Ziggs will die and like, you know, if you don't have a use for this, you can just wait until Ziggs dies and play Ziggs again. But if there is like two good options to deal 1 to, then you know, that's good. You know, so it's a pretty good champion spell. It's okay as a card. I don't think it's worth main decking. So which one of these have we seen? We've seen Inventive Chemist, we've seen Bomber Twins, we've seen Safety Inspector. We have not seen the Arsenal. The Arsenal, which is an 8-mana 8/6. I have a random keyword. For each allied landmark you've destroyed this game. I mean, it's funny, but obviously it being random keywords probably means that you can't really play this because it's just too random. If it just had like any one good keyword, like if it had Overwhelm or Elusive as like a start and then just got extra ones, then it would be good. But unfortunately that seems not to be the case. Explosive Minefield, which is a 1-mana landmark that you can put in your deck, and again will definitely go in these decks. This is exactly what they want. When I'm summoned or destroyed, stun the strongest enemy. I'm guessing you play this, right, and it stuns the strongest enemy when summoned. Then it's just going to sit there and do nothing. So then you need to destroy it to stun the strongest enemy again. So you will need a way of destroying this, because it will just sit there, I think. But yeah, another good card for this deck. Mega Inferno Bomb we talked about, Yordle Contraption we also talked about. So let's give a quick rating to these cards then, and talk about Ziggs a bit more. So Ziggs, as I said, is Zerath too slow for Ziggs? Possibly not. It's like, you know, we've got like 4 landmark champions at this point, and I'm not sure like which combination will end up being best, but unfortunately the way this is designed probably means that really probably at least one of them is going to get left out. If I had to guess, it probably won't be Ziggs, because Ziggs gives you a nice sort of easy way of winning the game. But it really could be any of the others. And I'm not sure exactly which one it will be, but because like you've got 4 champions who are kind of occupying the same space, like, you know, it's going to be a bit iffy. You know, you're not going to put them all into a deck. You could put 3 of them into one deck, I think, but yeah. It's a bit awkward, but Ziggs himself I kind of like. He speaks to me as someone who likes burn. So I do like Ziggs. I like his design. It doesn't seem crazy, but a 3-mana 3/4 is only so bad. You know, it's pretty good for just stalling out on turn 3, to be honest. So there's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, Ziggs leveled up will kind of help you win the game. You know, he's not a champion who's going to like solo carry you to a win. But, you know, he'll just chip away at the enemy nexus. You know, he just seems like a decent card for just being like a decent 3-drop. That, you know, has a decent ability. Basically, he's not going to, you know, it's not a champion that you even really have to worry about too much if it dies. It's just a decent card. You know, that you'll get decent value from. So Ziggs overall, thumbs up, probably like a 7.5. You know, just pretty decent. I can't stop looking at his teeth. They're so big. So that's Ziggs. So Bouncing Bomb, as I said, it's not the worst thing. I think it's a better champion spell than it is a spell. I think this is probably like a 5.5 maybe. The slow speed obviously limits it somewhat. Inventive Chemist, I think is really good. I think this is an absolute must 3 of in all landmark decks, to be honest. So yeah, Inventive Chemist, probably like an 8. Bomber Twins as well, probably a must in almost all landmark decks. I like that it's dual region as well, helps with the banditry. Again, this is like your 7.5, 8, just a decent card. Safety Inspector. In fact, Inventive Chemist is like an 8.5. It's a straight 3 of no question. Bomber Twins, I think, is close, like in that 7.5, 8 range. Safety Inspector is okay. I think it's good enough to put in your deck. I like the fact that it's a 6/6. Often they print these cards and they're like 4/4s or whatever. And I just think, why can't you just make it a 6/6? You know, which I'm glad that this is just a 6/6. You know, because that makes it good enough to put in the deck. You know, it's going to be too chunky to get through for your opponent, you know, with their measly 3-drops. You know, it doesn't die to Merciless Hunter. Ziggs does, though, so I guess the meme will go on. And Inspection Pass fits the deck pretty well. The Arsenal, yeah, it's just too random to be good. Oh, I should say Safety Inspector, let's give that like a 7. The Arsenal, let's give like a 4. Classic Arsenal, you know, just not that good. Really, any card with this name was never going to be great, let's be real. Explosive Minefield is pretty good. We'll definitely go in this deck. This is like, you know, a 7. It's good for this deck. I'm not sure about too many others, but it's fine. Mega Inferno Bomb is too slow. It's like a 4. Yodel Contraption, again, could see play in some decks, but I think, again, isn't great. It's like a 4.5 or 5, something like that. And those are all the cards. It's all done. No more spoilers. Ah, it's done. It's over. I am released, and yes, I will be back today, actually, with more videos. I'll be talking about 10 decks that I helped build, that I was helped with chat and built on my stream. Why are you not in my stream building those decks with me? So yes, I will be back talking to you about those decks. If there is like big patch notes, you know, big nerfs, big buffs, I'll also do a video on about that. But obviously, we don't know at this point. So I don't know if there'll be a video about that or not. But anyway, thank you so much for watching and have a really nice day. I will see you later.